Hey friends, good afternoon. Hey, I wanted to do a real quick video on comparing ourselves to others. So, how many of you feel like you're constantly comparing yourself to other people? Maybe somebody in your work where they're more successful than you, or that's how you perceive it. This person is a better mother than I am, or a better father than I am, or, I see this person as a better wife or a better husband. So how often do we compare ourselves to other people? That whole keeping up with the Joneses mentality. So I just want to encourage you today. So we shouldn't compare ourselves to people. If anything, we should be encouraged by the saints. Like Mother Teresa is one of my favorite saints. I often watched her, and I've read so many books about her and quotes about her, because she's the kind of person I wanted to be. So it's not about comparing myself to her as much as, or even like the Blessed Mother, striving to be the kind of woman that I know God wants me to be. So I just encourage you today, stop comparing yourself to other people. God has a very specific plan for your life, not for anyone else to live your life, but for you to live your life. So part of this challenge and journey is that we're on every day is, seeking God's will in our life, trying to be who he's called us to be, putting on the mind of Christ and having Christ-like standards and characteristics and loving people the way that God would want us to, choosing to forgive and letting the fruits of the Spirit flow through us, walking out our life, fulfilling our call to holiness, whether it be, just in our day-to-day life, or, whether it's in our vocation, our vocation of marriage, our vocation of singlehood, or our vocation in religious life, whichever it may be. So my question to you today is, do you compare yourself to other people? And if you do, why? Why do you feel inadequate, or why do you feel less than somebody else? So I think this is where we have to really lay down, that last video I did, lay down our desires to. It's one thing to have goals and objectives, as long as we're surrendering those to God's will, but and seeking his will in our life. I can strive to to be a better business consultant. I could strive to be a better engineer. I could strive to be a better mother, or a better wife, or, a better, whatever our role is, right? We could strive to be better in that. However, if we're comparing ourselves to other people, we will always fail. We will always fall short. There will always be someone that appears to be better than us. So this is where I think we just have to take a second and just choose to love ourselves, recognize that we are beautifully and wonderfully made in the image and likeness of God, that he has a plan and a purpose for our life, and that only we can fulfill that plan. The plan God has for us, only we can fulfill. So there is no comparing ourselves to other people, because they're not supposed to be fulfilling the plan that we are, right? They have their own, God's own plan for their life. So anyways, I just want to encourage you, accept who you are today, accept, your faults, your strengths, your weaknesses, and all that, and just entrust it to God. Lord, I give this all back to you. I give you my strengths, my failures, my weaknesses. I surrender it to you, and ask you to just grow me and mature me and help me to be the woman or man that God has called me to be. And that, just to keep that straight path of, not comparing myself to somebody else, because all we do is hurt ourselves when we do that. So, okay, so the challenge of the day, right? Always a challenge. So the challenge of the day is to stop and take a second and just ask yourself, do I compare myself to other people? And if I do, why? Take a second and think about that, and if you feel like you're falling short in a certain area, and that's why you compare yourself, or you feel inadequate in a certain area, then I suggest you lay it down. Lay that inadequacy, whatever you sense or you feel is say that again, you feel is an inadequacy, lay that down at the foot of the cross. Lord, I lay down at the foot of the cross that I am not the best housekeeper today, or that I'm, not being the mother that I'm called to be, that I could be a better mother. I lay it down at the foot of the cross, but I ask you, God, for the grace to do better in this area. Okay? That's the challenge of the day. God bless you all.